Hello and welcome. Today I'll be taking you through embedding most recent videos of a particular channel on your website. After this video, you'll be able to set up YouTube's API and will always have the most recent videos on your personal website or blog, and you won't have to do anything extra to get the new videos on it. It just will automatically update, and it's only gonna take 6 easy to follow steps. In this video, I'll be using jQuery for my Ajax request, as it is just much easier to do than with vanilla JavaScript, and I also think it's a little bit easier to understand. First though, you need to get your API key to be able to send a request. Think of it as a locked door and you need to have an ID badge to get in. So go to this website over here. If you can't see the link, make sure your annotations are turned on. Now on the left hand side you have credentials, and here you can create one and go ahead and click on API key, and that will give you your unique ID badge basically. Save that key for later, because first I want to show you where I got all the information I needed to make this API work. So I went to developersgoogle.com, and here I found the channels list, and here they explain how to get basically the channel details. You even have a little console here to demo the results. They show you what kind of information you need to provide for them, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff here that I'm not going to be going over it because it would be just like way too long. Then also I used a second API call, which was playlist items list, and here again they give you a little console to demo the results. They tell you what information you need to provide, and you can see what kind of return you can expect from this. So yeah, that's basically it. If you are very new to doing this kind of work and you're not very used to going over documentations, I think this one is a really good one to start with, because it's just like one of the best I have ever seen. It's so well documented that I can't even contain myself. So if you are very new, I think going over this is gonna be a really good step forward. So anyway, as I said before, I'm gonna do it in 6 easy to follow steps, and I'm gonna be using 2 separate API calls. First one is to get the playlist's ID, and the second one to put the videos on the website. So the first step is to use the Jquery's Get Method, which you can get on apijquery.com/get. And if you're using CodePen, you need to go to the control panel or whatever it's called, and you need to add jQuery. Then save and close. And here, this is my UL. I created some markup here because I want to be adding videos as separate list items in my unordered list. I also got some CSS here to make it look a little bit nicer, and that's basically it. So first, as I said before, we're going to be using the get method. Here I want to insert a HTTP request URL, so we're going to be sending the request to this URL here. It's on channels list, by the way. And the second argument is going to be an object. Here we provide them with the information that they absolutely need. So they are asking us for ID part, and there's one more thing that they don't include here, which is the API key. So the first one is going to be the ID. I'm going to use just my own channel's ID here. The second one is going to be the part, and here we want to use content details, and the last one is the key. So I have my key prepared. You should use yours and just insert it here. Yeah, so that's it for the object. Now outside of it, over here, we wanna create an anonymous function, and we wanna pass in one argument here. And now if you console log that argument, you can, if you've gone through the documentation, this should look quite familiar to you. Here you go, because this is the same thing as you got in here. That's the same thing. You can see items. We have snippet here about his content details. That's what we're looking at right now. So you have items array, you have a single item because there's only one channel with this ID, and we have content details. Here we have related playlists and the ID for uploads. We want to use the uploads playlist because that's where all the videos go, no matter what. So I'm gonna just create I want to cache it in a variable, and I want to follow the path here. So first I want to go to data, items, then the first item in the array, content details, related playlists, and uploads. Now if everything went the way it should, when I console log it, it should give me the ID, and it does, so everything's alright. Now I'm gonna need this ID for the second API call. So I need to pass in this variable into another into the second call. So the way I did it is by creating a second I mean the first one, but the I created a separate function here. So I passed in one argument here, and here I'm gonna create another get method. But first I wanna call this function and pass in the playlist into it, because without it, you'll see in a second that without this I won't be able to make this call. And otherwise I would have to make this call here, and then it would be just like so messy. Like I just don't like it, because you could just put this get method here and then keep going, but it's just like I prefer to separate them to make it a little bit more readable. So here we go ahead and we just repeat all the steps from the first call. So, but this time we go to playlist items, and here they give you a different URL. And we paste it in here. Then again, we create an object, and there's a little bit different things they're asking us about. So here we want to have a playlist ID, max results, and we're going to be using snippet for the part key. So let's go from playlist ID. So here we want to pass in content, because that's the playlist. Here we're gonna do max results. I'm just gonna use 5, and then was part. I'm gonna use snippet, and the key is gonna be, I'm just gonna use the same key. You don't need a separate one for this. And that's it. Now again, just like before, we're gonna create an anonymous function after the object, and just like before, we're gonna pass in one argument, and I'm gonna console log it to see what it looks like. Yeah, so that's what we get. There's an items array, and there's 5 items in it. it depends on how many results you want to have. I want 5, so I get 5 because every item is a video. So here I can go down to snippet, and here I have all kinds of information about my video. I have the title, I have the publish date, the playlist ID, description, channel title, whatever I want. And in resource ID, I have the video ID, which is what I'm looking for. As I just told you, like there is so many things you could use here, but I'm only gonna be using the video ID, which is crucial, and then a title. So, but because there is so many video, like I mean so many, there's more than one video here, so I need to loop over this array. So you can do it in 2 ways. So the first one is with jQuery. You can use the each method, and here the first argument is the object you wanna iterate over. So that's data.array items. Sorry. And the second one is another function, and here you put in an index and then an object again that you want to iterate, but this time you just name it whatever you want, so I'll call it just video, and then you just code whatever you want it to execute on every iteration. But I think it's really messy. There is so many unnecessary syntax here that I just don't like it. I'm not a big fan of jQuery, so I'm just gonna use a normal loop, and I'm gonna use the for of loop here. It's a new ES6 syntax, and here if I console log the video, you're gonna see that it's gonna return every video in the array. Yeah, so the only difference between this and the old-fashioned loop is I don't have to create I would have to do data items of video, or because that's the most common one. So instead of that, I can just use video, and it's the same thing. So here, if we go into one of the videos, we can go down to snippet. Oh, and it's broken, so that's brilliant. I'm pretty sure every one of them is going to be broken. Oh, this one works. Okay, so here we want to go down and take the title, and we want to go down to resource ID and get the video ID as well. So I'm going to cache it in variables. So first one is going to be title, and I'm going to go down to video, snippet, and title. And then the second one is video ID, snippet, resource ID, and video ID. Yeah, I'm just following the path here. As you can see, the indentations is where I know where to go. And okay, so now I have my video, I have my title. Now I wanna put it on the page because for now there's nothing on here. So I have my UL, I have my unordered list, and now I wanna create a list item. So I'm gonna create another variable, and here I'm gonna just create an element. And now I wanna create the markup that I wanna put inside that list item. So I'm just gonna use the template literals, and here I wanna use the h4 tag for my title, and I'm gonna give it a class of title because I think I have some styles for this class. Yeah, I do. So here, and I'm gonna use the title variable, and below I'm gonna insert the iframe, and here I can give it some width, let's say 720, and some height, and most importantly src attribute, the source attribute. And here I'm gonna start with 2 forward slashes, so that means that it's gonna like inherit the protocol that someone is on right now. Because if I just typed in the HTTPS, the secure one, then and someone would be on just a regular HTTP, then they wouldn't be able to watch this video. So I just want to do 2 forward slashes. That way it's gonna just adjust depending on the protocol that someone's on. And here I'm gonna type in youtube.com/embed and / and here I'm gonna insert the video ID. I just remembered that I forgot to say what step we're on. We're actually on step number 6 now, so it's kind of too late. But I think it was pretty easy, and that's why I just didn't remember to say that. But anyway, here I just wanna put this markup in the li, so I just use the in a HTML method, and I'll put HTML in it, and now I wanna append the li to my unordered list. And if we look, and I have my videos, and let's see if it works. It does. We have 4K, we have everything. We can mute it, or we can't make it full screen. Hello and welcome. Whoops, that was uncalled for. But anyway, you can see that it works. There is many more properties that you can use to change the player a little bit, but I didn't put it in this video because that's not what it was about. Now, this will give you the basic functionality. However, there's a few things I did to make it more user-friendly and a little bit more customizable. Like I said, there is many ways to change your YouTube player, and I did it but behind the scenes, because the video would be just way too long if I did it on the video. Now, if you like the video, consider liking and sharing the video, or maybe like subscribing to my channel. It will really mean a lot. However, if you didn't like it, then there's also a button for that. I won't get upset, and you don't have to talk about it or share it anywhere, but it would really mean a lot to me if you gave me some feedback how I could make it better. I also put the link to this code pen in the description below. So if you want to use this code on your website or just learn from it, whatever you want to do with it, you can. I really don't mind. And I hope to see you in another video.